Hey guys, we made it back. Episode 2, ADKVoice podcast. I'm one of 3 hosts, Tim Zukas.
Well, that feels good.
Yeah, finally some recognition.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be
I
here.
finally promoted these 2 to host.
Wow.
Before they were just 2 guests on the show.
Guests.
Guess.
Yeah,
Guess.
full-time permanent guests. Well, today we got a great podcast for you today. It's gonna be spooky. We got scary stories. We got tips. We got a saga coming up. But before all that, let's go around the room.
Ready?
No, Craig, I'll go first.
All right, fair enough.
It's me, Tim. I like to cut grass because it smells fucking great.
I'm Craig, and I just want to get through this podcast without Tim cutting me off before I'm done talking. So.
Shut up.
yeah. See, we're already screwed that one up. So why don't we hear from our other host here?
I'm Pierre. First, I'd like to thank everyone for listening and all the love and support we got. If you hit us up on any social media with tips or topics you think we should talk about, we will definitely think about it, and Craig gets the final say.
Like Tim's a bully?
A little intro for you. I have asserted dominance with the chickens and the rooster at my house, and they now know who's top dog.
Beautiful. That's exactly what they should know.
Exactly. All right, let's hear it, Tim.
What do you got planned for the show today?
Well,
That's
today
gonna sound
we
great.
are going to talk about some scary stuff, but today, let me say today again. Today, I think it's going to be time that we hear from one of our favorite gingers on the show, and that's Craig, with Craig's Corner.
So, in today's Craig's Corner, I want to talk about the moon landing, just a little couple facts. Little did you know that the backup crew of the Apollo 11 mission decided to replace some of the sheets in their handbooks and their flight manuals with Playboy cover spreads.
Hey, Craig, do you know if they brought cheese graters to the moon because the moon is made of cheese?
I don't know that. I don't
Can you
think
give me
they
a
did.
soft confirm?
No soft confirm.
No soft confirm, but
No.
it is made of cheese, right?
Shout out to Sarah. She's told me to be more
Assertive?
straightforward. Yeah, more assertive. Thank you.
So she's telling you to be a man, Craig.
I guess
You
so.
are a coward.
Grow some fucking testicles. About
Shut up, Tim.
All right.
All right, what else you got about the moon? Yeah, we didn't want to...
Yeah, we're not cutting you off. We're
is-
just chiming
Oh,
in.
really?
Is
Really?
it-
Now you're just chiming in.
Is it fake?
No, it's not fake.
The moon
Hard
is real.
confirm.
The moon is real.
The moon is definitely real.
All right, just wanted to know.
What,
Hard confirm on
What
that
do
one.
you What do you think about? What do you think about the whole the boot thing? Have you ever seen that? Like the suit from the moon landing has a boot on it that looks like a cowboy boot, but the footprint, the notorious footprint on the moon, is a circular, striated.
Definitely not a cowboy boot.
Are there monsters on the moon?
You know what? I'm going to leave that one
Because
up.
I saw the Campbell's commercial about the beans.
Soft confirmed. Yes, there are
Now,
monsters
are there
on the moon.
Transformers on the dark side of the moon?
Definitely could be.
Could be. Soft confirm.
Soft confirm.
All right. No.
I don't know. Never been there. Gonna
Craig,
soft
you're my
confirm it.
space guy.
Would you ever go there?
Piss off, space ghost.
Piss off,
Yeah, would you ever go to the moon?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
I think I would too, honestly.
Tim, you're afraid of heights.
Yeah, the moon isn't heights. It's
Yeah.
like
There's
out
no
of
gravity
space.
out there. Tim ain't falling nowhere.
Just floating off into
Ah,
space.
fuck.
Oh, no, we forgot to tie Tim down.
Don't worry, fucking shit just starts gravitating towards me. Like, oh no, I do need to lose some weight.
This is
Fuck.
This is humbling.
Tim, you threw off the moon's center of gravity. Stop it.
It's hurtling towards Earth. Fuck. Thousands of fucking years it's been in this fucking orbit, and you come here for one fucking day, and now it's heading towards Earth. God damn it. That's pretty spooky.
Alrighty, let's toss it over to Pierre now.
Nope. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Craig didn't look at the itinerary, so he doesn't know what's going on.
It's time for the spooky topic.
Yeah, Craig, we're going to talk about spooky stuff.
Yeah,
You're
Craig,
supposed to
it's
do the segue into the spooky stories.
All right, well, here's the segue into spooky stuff. Tim?
Well, I'll tell you guys something. I used to have this one recurring dream. This isn't spooky, real life spooky. What we can get to real life spooky. But I used to have this dream that every time, like, it would reoccur every like 3 or 4 years, where like I'd be with a group of people, and we'd all be like at the Sacandaga Lake, like strangely enough, and we'd be like, let's swim across the lake, like to go to that sand island over there, and like I'd be like running on a deck, and I'd slip, hit my ribs on the corner of the deck, and like fall into the water, and literally just sit there and drown while people like watch me drown. I'm like, this is fucking horrible.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah. And I used to have this other recurring dream about like when I lived in Corinth, my older sister's room was really close to mine, and like I'd have this dream where I'd see this like ghost thing, and I'd like look at it, and then I'd like get close to it, and it would fly out of the fucking room and go down under my older sister's bedroom when we lived in Corinth. That shit used to freak me the fuck out. And yeah,
You're starting to get a really like.
I'm getting
passionate-
scared.
Yeah,
Like,
seriously.
You're getting flustered, Tim.
Don't worry,
that-
the lights are
that's-
on here, man.
Yeah, what else fucking spooks me out? Obviously, both you
Heights.
guys know about heights, claymation.
Oh,
Fuck claymation. I finally just got over that fear like 2 years ago. Like, I cannot fucking do it. But
Tim's
You
weakness
know, that's
is
all, like,
shellfish.
that's all fucking mental spookiness. Like, I want to hear something from you guys. Like,
jump scares. Well, I have a couple jump scares and stuff like that. Quick story. Me and Tim were actually at this party. We went to Ricky Wallace's house for his birthday party. And Tim got us all talking about Slender Man. And it was, we were all like 15, 16 years old. And then freaked out and we all went to bed. To which Joe Diaz decided he was going to scare us through the side of the tent. And he put his face in the tent and screamed and scared us. So I threw a full can of orange soda and I hit him in the nose.
I remember that night, but I don't remember sleeping. I think I got the most sleep
No,
of like
you
20
also
minutes.
went to sleep, and then someone said your name, and you woke up, but you were like sleepwalking. You leaned up, looked at us, opened your eyes, closed your eyes, and laid back down and fell back asleep.
Yeah, I felt like this topic would turn into every time Tim's fucking scared us from being a fucking sleepwalker.
Or a demon.
Yeah,
I mean,
demon.
Pierre, what
Let's
was
talk
that
about
story?
the Ouija board.
No, what was that story about Tim? Like, you thought he was possessed when you and him were living
Oh,
in,
yeah.
Oh
in
my
the
God.
dorm room or apartment,
So
rather?
I forgot what we were doing in the apartment, and we were like talking about creepy stories. Oh no, I was just sitting in bed. Evan and Raph were playing PlayStation like they always do, and Tim was asleep. And then Tim just gets up and walks downstairs, and I was like, "Yo, Tim, where you going? What's up?" And he just kept going all the way downstairs. So I was like, "Okay, something's not right." So I went and got Evan and Raph, and I was like, "Hey, just come here." So I grabbed a metal baseball bat because I don't F with ghosts. And
But Tim's not a ghost. He's very much alive.
we go downstairs, and Tim is just ravaging the fridge,
Spiegel.
just looking for anything. And we were like, "Tim," we were all at the bottom of the stairs, and we were like, Tim. And then I poke him with the metal bat, which was cold, and he just snaps his head around and goes, "What the fuck do you want?" And I was like, and we all ran back upstairs, and then Tim comes upstairs, puts his head down on the banister of the stairs, and sleeps there. So we poke him with the bat again, and he goes, "Dude, what do you want?" And we're like, "Tim, what is going on with you?" And he was like, "I'm sleeping. What does it look like?" So that night, I barricaded Tim in his own bed with a couch, everything that he owned. And if he got up one more time, I swear to God, I was going to kill him.
See, I remember that. Like, I remember the coldness of a bat. Like, that's literally like all I remember from that night. Like, I think I woke up at some point.
Well,
Like,
Tim,
what the
one
fuck
more.
was
you were
that?
gonna
That's
feel-
what you
me.
choose to remember?
Yeah.
One more thing, you were going to feel the coldness of
Yeah,
that
you
bat up the
choose
side
Like,
of your
because that's
head.
like, because I remember like having my head on the banister and then feeling like a cold bat on my like arm area. I don't know. And that like kind of woke me up and I went back to bed.
That was
Here-
interesting. There was one time in high school before indoor track meet, we were playing, doing stupid things, Ouija board.
with a Ouija board
And
made
then-
out of a pizza box.
Yeah, Tim's ear just started pouring blood out of it. We're like 40% sure Tim was
Do you remember the
possessed.
time that you, me, and Andre went over to? Shout out to Andre, by the way. That we went over across the street to that house,
Mhm.
and
Absolutely. See, I've had more than one creepy encounter over there. I've had one with you and Andre.
well, why don't you let me tell a story, Bod?
Luigi, Devin Renda.
So here we are, in the middle of this house. Pierre says the house across the street is haunted. No, it's not, Pierre. Well, blah, 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 blah.
All my siblings believe me. My parents don't. Just a little backstory.
So Andre, Pierre, and myself, we all go over to this house, and we're upstairs. We're looking through like a couple of things. Not taking anything, just looking around, see what's over there. And next thing I know, Pierce picks up something and shows me. He goes, "Craig, take a look at this." And as soon as he said that, the room that all three of us were in, the door slammed shut. And I mean, it didn't like slam shut like the breeze blew it shut or anything. I mean, it like shook the whole house.
Fuck.
Yeah. So like, okay, yeah, we need to get out of here. And as soon as we started moving towards the door, a cup, like a coffee cup, like a mug, flew across the room, and that was it. We sprinted out the door. I've been back there once or no, twice.
Maybe a few times, but I mean, I've had way too many encounters in that house. Me and my cousin were over there grabbing something for my mom.
And this is the house right across the street from your house.
And
I thought the ghost was gonna follow me.
What the best part was? My childhood bedroom, when I slept in bed, like I would look out the window and all I could see was the house.
That doesn't give me nightmares. I don't know.
Nothing will. But me and my cousin were over there grabbing something for my mom, and the upstairs, it's like every room is connected to each other, so it's just a big circle essentially. And we walked through one room and we walked back out, like back into the room, and there was a child's rocking chair, and it was just rocking as if someone was in it. So I looked at him, he looked at me, and I ran as fast as I could. And I don't care if he died. I left him there. I don't care what
Jesus.
I will leave anyone anywhere when it comes to ghosts.
Can we just talk about quick? Every time we go into that house, like Pierre has a strategy. Like he's like
never first, never last.
Two people in front of me, at least one person behind me.
Yeah,
and
he's like sandwiched in there.
Like he's like,
I will
everyone
jump through a window
file,
to get out of
don't
that
break
house.
up.
Me and my cousin were just went over there to see if we could find the ghost. We took pictures and everything. Because, like, you hear if you ghosts come up in pictures, and, like, we were looking at through some of them on our phones, and, like, off one of the rocking chairs, you could see someone's leg, like, going down the chair, or not a rocking chair, just, like, a couch. You could see the leg going, like, down the couch and then onto the ground.
Really? I never knew that.
Oh, terrifying. What else has happened over there?
Don't you have a... Wait,
what does your mom or your dad have to say about these pictures, or haven't they seen them?
Oh, they just call me a coward.
Yeah, you are.
I mean, one time my whole family, we had to go over there for something. It might have been when the owner passed away. We had to get something for her family for the funeral. And it was the middle of winter. And we were walking back, and someone hit me with a snowball. So I was like, oh, ha, Dad, funny joke. And I'm like, we get back over to the house. And my dad had already been in our house by the time I left the house. So either there was someone there robbing the house, and they really just wanted to get under. Yeah, it messed with me and throw a snowball at me and hit me in the back because I was the last person to walk out.
Mm-hmm.
So is that why you're never the last person to walk out?
Never the first in, never the last out.
I do want to bring up another thing because I vaguely remember you saying your sister's old house used to be haunted. I do remember you had a great story about that.
I do not like talking about this story. Well, it makes my skin crawl. It makes my sister cry whenever we talk about it. So pretty much...
Avert your ears, Malucci.
Yeah. We don't know what it was, but she moved into this like a house she was renting. And just weird stuff started happening. My aunt was living with her, and like my aunt would say, "Oh, I was, where have you been? I was talking to you through the wall." And my sister would be like, "Oh," because their rooms were connected by a doorway, but like they never used the door.
Yeah.
And my sister was like, "I haven't been home for 2 hours," and she was like, "What are you talking about? We had a full conversation through the wall."
Nope.
And, no.
I'm out.
And then one time, and it's weird because this ghost, whatever, was following them around because they saw it in Virginia. They saw it at my brother-in-law's parents' house. And one time my other sister and my brother-in-law were talking because I had friends over one night and we went into my sister Lindsay's room to grab something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just me that went in the room. And the next morning she was like, "Why the hell was Tim in my room?" And I was like, "Tim was downstairs." Tim didn't go in your room. And she's like, "Well, someone was in my room." And she's like, "Well, now that I think about it, it was a girl." So then my sister Lindsay and my brother-in-law Luke have never talked about the situation before, but then they were describing the same girl back and forth. Like Lindsay was like, "Oh, she had brown hair," and Luke was like, "Oh my God, yeah, she was wearing like a purple shirt." And Lindsay was like, "Oh my God, yeah."
Fuck.
So then like,
no, I'm out.
All of us were just freaking out. Like,
I'm out.
I can't handle this stuff. Like I was on the verge of tears.
Yeah.
And then like my cousin Ashley was living there too, and like she was just all this stuff happened. Like whenever you slept there, you just felt like something was watching you.
Just dread.
It was just
Was it
stressful, and like my
Yeah,
sister.
I mean, your brother-in-law said that like when he would stay the night over there or something like that, he felt like someone was like 2
Yes.
inches from his face.
Yeah, they've walked in the house before, and the basement door would just shut.
Yeah.
It would open and shut, and like they went down there to like figure stuff out, and they found a false wall in the basement.
Fuck that.
Yeah, and
Oh no.
so like
Oh, no.
another time, my brother-in-law went
can
there.
I-
it was
can I
before they were
interrupt you real
married.
quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Now what do you guys think about that? Like, do you actually like
I'll be
Believe
honest,
ghosts
I'd rather
are
not
real?
think about it.
like yeah like
Paranormal
what do
activity exists.
you think that's
Yes.
actually a thing?
I do.
Yes.
I mean, I have way too much proof, and
Yeah.
There's just way too many stories for all of them to be
Like
Yeah.
just in our
coincidences.
brains.
Yeah, right, right.
I mean, especially like my sister and my brother-in-law just explaining the same person without ever talking about it. But like one time, this was before my sister was married to my brother-in-law. He went over there. And my sister was tired, so she went to bed. And he was watching a movie, and my cousin was there, so he finished the movie. And then he went into her room to say goodnight and bye.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he walked in, and there was a guy laying in the bed with her. And he was like, "Holy fuck, this is like her ex-boyfriend or someone broke
Yeah.
in or whatever. I'm gonna kill him." And then like he walked in. So then he was gonna leave, just like so mad he was gonna
Just
leave, and then
pissed.
he went back because he was like, "Okay, that doesn't add up. How did he get in the room?"
Yeah, without
And he
him
went
knowing.
back, and there was nothing there, and he woke my sister up, and was like, "Who was that? You know, this and that." And like they kept saying they kept seeing a guy and a girl.
Like like different times,
Yeah, they
separate
would see a
occasions,
guy and a
like
girl,
same.
like,
Yeah,
She-
didn't he say like one time he came in there and there was a guy smoking a cigarette or something like that in like almost like a plaid like shirt?
Yeah, something like that. I know one time, like, it was weird. I remember I was there, they had a hot tub room in the back. It was like an entryway kind of thing that had a hot tub in it.
Yeah.
And I saw a girl in there, and I just thought it was my cousin Ashley, so I didn't think anything of it. And I was just like, she wasn't facing me, she was like facing out the window. So I was like, oh, you know, there's Ashley, I gotta go, so whatever, I left. And then, like, talking about it, like, I don't know how much later, to find out, like, she wasn't there at all. And it's just like,
I mean,
I
ghosts
don't like-
love hot tubs too. You know, like you've been dead for centuries. You want to fucking chill out in a hot tub.
exactly.
Throw
But
the
it-
jets on. Get
like-
the knot out of your back that's been there for
I mean,
120 years.
When my sister and I, shout out to Lauren, by the way.
Hi, Lauren. I'm
when-
waving. I'm waving at the mic.
He is.
He actually is. So when we were younger, we used to like I think it was Discovery Channel, used to have like this episode like hauntings or something or
Yeah,
haunting.
yeah.
I used to love that show. Actually,
Oh my
Could
god!
not watch it.
Yeah, my sister and I, we were
Chill my
watching it.
bones.
I think it was like over the summer. You know, we're on summer vacation or whatever. My parents were at work and we're watching this. We literally couldn't walk into the other room without some sort of like weaponry, without being like spooked out.
Oh, yeah.
Like it got us like so freaking amped up. It wasn't even funny.
And it's like, it's not just me or like the neighbor's house or my sister's house. My uncle, before he bought the house, the past owner killed himself in the basement. So he has like, not ghost issues, because I guess they're on great terms for what he tells me. She doesn't bother them. He doesn't bother her.
just like having a kind of shitty roommate.
Yeah, she doesn't like women. So it takes a while for the ghost to get used to women there. My aunt had issues when she moved into her house.
I mean, we've
And like my oldest cousin was a baby, and like the doors were shutting and locking, and she couldn't get into the room to get to my cousin.
this is Jer Bears.
That the first one was.
Oh yeah.
And then my other aunt, when they first moved into their house, my uncle was working late because he works weird hours with his job, and she got home and like she was about to turn into the driveway, and then she happened to look. They have a big window out front, and there was just 4 people sitting in her living room, just standing there.
like when she's looking in
Yeah,
through
she
the
was
driveway.
like getting ready to pull into the driveway, and she just happened to look. And my little cousin was a baby, so she just said, I turned out of the driveway, and I just kept going. And she ended up coming to my house until my uncle got home. And like my grandmother would go there and bless the house and all this and that. There's just way too much creepy stuff that follows me around, and I don't like ghosts, and ghosts
Yeah.
know it, so they definitely bother me.
They just fuck with you.
They do. They have to. Like the neighbor's house, my sister was over there, and like she opened up a closet, and she said it felt like something punched her in the stomach. Like I'm getting freaked out just talking about this.
You
All right,
got-
that
yeah, it
would
looks
be
like
a
you
good
got
time
the
to move
goose-
on then, or something.
got
Yeah,
some
that
goosebumps
sounds
on
like
his
a great idea.
arm.
So we're actually gonna kick it over here for Tim's part 1 of I don't know if it's a folklore tale or an urban legend.
Well, let me tell you about it. So,
I like the folklore. Let's go with folklore.
it's
Folklore.
folklore, but
Folklore.
Folklore.
Go ahead, Tim. Sorry.
So, this folklore is something that my older sister told me about, and I did a little bit of research. I looked it up. I did some background information. I did some checking. What we're talking about is Swampa. And now you might think I'm just saying swamp with a fucking adjective on the back. No, it's Swamp Grandpa. And let me describe to you what Swampa does. No, listen, don't stop giggling. He's real.
Let's hear it, Tim.
He's real. So,
Can you describe what he looks like and what he was wearing as well?
okay, so Swampa is an older man. He wears cut-off jean shorts with suspenders and a nice trucker hat. And Swampa fires tennis balls into the swamp. And you might be thinking, well, is he like throwing them in there? Homeboy's got a racket, and he's no, quick gig. He's bad news, and I'll tell you about him.
Homeboy's bad news. You heard it here first.
And
So done the shit out of your car with some tennis balls.
if you ever come across Swampa, you do not want to
give him a racket
don't give
with
him a
some
reason.
balls.
Don't give him a reason.
The fire
Just-
one
you'll
Just go
year-
your separate ways.
He's usually on the edge of 29, just firing tennis balls into the swamp.
Tim's
And
currently
now-
drawing out a schematic right now for us
I
to
want you guys to see.
Well, he wants everyone to be safe.
If you just drive past
There's
him,
no saying how dangerous.
give him
this
the
guy
nod, give him the hey, you do your
Sometimes
thing.
Is
Should
he
we
out
leave-
there like religiously, or
Should
is
we
it like
leave a tube of
one-shot
tennis
hit?
balls?
It pleases him.
It
Yes.
pleases him.
It
He
pleases
fires about 3 into the swamp, and you don't get them back. Now
they do?
I want to
So
tell
you're-
you.
Wait. Do you like leave like a canister of tennis balls
You
out
have
by
to
your?
open them for him because he's got like he's got arthritis. He can
Gotcha,
grip the
thank you.
racket. He's been doing that for years, so that's good. And
I think
he's
it's just
got-
like ingrained.
yeah. I want to tell you his origin though,
All right, let's hear
because
it.
I stopped and I talked to Swampa the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said, Swampa, here's a thing of tennis balls. It's a big 4-pack. He said, oh, 4-pack. I'm gonna get them. And so I was like, what does that mean? And so I said, Swampa, what happened to you? Where do you come from? Who are you? And Swampa said, so I'm going back home. And it took me a while to translate that, but he started with all that, and then I deciphered that Swampa in his late 20s, when he was a young man, he's actually living in the city, the New York City.
Thanks.
And he was a semi wealthy stockbroker.
I don't know what that was, and I don't like it.
Well, it was probably just the Swampa. I invited him to live in my walls.
Or a ghost, and I'm gonna leave.
No, you talked about it too much. So back when Swampa was a young man, he was a wealthy stockbroker, and he met the love of his life. You know what her name was? Daisy Swamp. And Daisy and Swampa, they were starting this life together. You know, they were planning on having kids and doing all this, but like Swampa, he cared too much. He cared too much about like his job, and he was just
Too invested in his work.
He was too invested in his work. He was always there, always putting Daisy on the back burner, you know. But they were working through it, and Daisy. I don't know if you actually know Daisy Swamp, but she was actually in the 1940s a professional tennis player, which she was way ahead of her time for all the. For like all the feminine, like she was the first fucking female tennis player.
The first.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she was playing against men.
So what? Did like a bunch of like swamp gypsies come up and steal her? And
No, they didn't.
okay,
It was demons, but we'll get to that later.
all right. Well,
I
maybe
think-
we'll
I
cover
think
that in
this-
like a second
yeah.
episode.
I think I've given you a good start
A nice
to the
intro,
Swampa
you know.
saga. Yeah. So
We
when
gotta
we
leave him
pick up,
hanging.
Yeah, when we pick up next week, I'll talk more about what happened to Daisy, and then why Swampa fires balls into the swamp.
Fair enough.
All right, so that was quite the cliffhanger you left us on there, Tim.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, for those who aren't in the area, we're going to do a new topic, a new segment. It's called Tourist Tips. And this week, Craig is going to, kick us off with it and give everyone that, whether you're from the area, you're just looking for something to do,
Right.
you're coming to visit the Great Adirondack Park. So let's hear it, Craig. What do you got?
Alrighty. I mean, everyone that is around here knows of the Sacandaga, the Great Sacandaga Lake.
Yeah, not the okay Sacandaga Lake.
Yeah, right.
or the modest one. It's,
Right.
It's the great.
So,
It's
just
like
a
great
little,
stuff.
just a quick little history on it. And, it wasn't always a lake. It's actually a reservoir. There were towns, hamlets, whatever you want to call them, all down in here, down in the valley when they flooded it. But yeah, I mean, now today it's, there's a dam up in Conkville area, almost by where Tim used to, live. And
Is that near Corinth?
Near Corinth.
Corinth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You gotta say it proper.
So I mean, it's a lot of fun for the people who live around here. A lot of people go there to hang out on the beaches, swim in the lake, do boating, fishing, just whatever, cookouts. It's a good time. It's a good time. A lot of people come out here just to be at the foot of the Adirondacks in a pretty big lake. I mean, it's not ginormous, but it's decent sized. And they just go there to have some fun.
Yeah.
It's like half in the Adirondacks, isn't it? Like the one side definitely
north-
is, and then where north.
About like 80% of the lake is in the Adirondack Park.
Mhm.
It cuts from North Broadalbin almost to the Broadalbin-Mayfield line, and the rest of it's in.
I always thought the start of the park was like
It's
by the
like
roundabout.
It's-
Like if
no,
you
no.
look, certain
It's like Mayfield.
certain maps have the full lake in it, some don't. I don't know which one is technically.
Yeah, that's true.
Like if you look on Google Maps,
Right.
some of it has all of it. It all varies, but it's within like a half mile. So I'm not gonna make a
Alrighty.
big fuss.
Well, that's enough of a little bit of tourist tips. How about we fire it over to Pierre for the Laporte report?
Dun dun dun.
All right, so I'm not saying Thanos was right with what he did, but I get it. There's way too many people.
Getting a little genocidal on the podcast.
No,
I like it.
no. Let's not.
Genocide's awesome.
Let's not dance with that topic.
Jesus.
But I mean, what a way to do it. No one gets hurt. They just disappear. A little dust.
Well, dust.
There's
I
too
don't
many
feel so
people.
well, Mr.
Way
Stark.
too many people. I don't know how you guys feel. I mean, to quote the great Dwight Schrute, we need another plague. I wouldn't go that route. I'd go the snap route. But just traffic, the line at the grocery store, too many people are at Stewart's. There's just too many.
Well, can I counter this a little bit?
Well, let's hear it.
Do
Do you think there's not enough? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I
We all
want
need
to
to do
double
our
the
part.
population.
Double the. Wow.
Everyone has twins for the next 150 years. No. I watched a YouTube video. That's where I get all my information from.
And he's always right.
Straight facts.
Yep. And like someone was like, the last time the population was at half, it was like 1950. Like it wasn't that long ago that if we snapped the population in half today, we'd only go back 20 years or 30, 40, 50 years.
Okay, I'm
Or
glad you
60,
fixed
70,
that. I
80,
mean, 20 years
100.
is almost 2,000, Tim. So let's try 70.
Ha ha ha. It's a clapper, Pierre.
I don't
the
care.
the light just behind us went off. Craig,
no
it's
one
okay
clapped.
that the dog's under the table. I can see you're freaking out over there. So if you hear a tail hit a mic stand, that's why.
But yeah. So Craig, do you have any sort of rebuttal or against?
I didn't say I wasn't against it though.
I mean, I understand, but at the same time, it's kind of genocide. So that's
Yeah.
not good.
Craig, that argument was weak. That's weak sauce, and don't
Yeah.
enter that sauce in the county fair because that sauce was weak.
Yeah, it won't ribbon at all.
Yeah. So let's hear a good argument. Stop splitting hairs. Right down the middle. So
You know what? Yeah, I agree with it.
There-
Yeah, snap.
there it is.
Great.
There
Awesome.
it
You know
is.
what? Double snap. Everyone's gone.
And if we're lucky, Craig is a part of the snap.
Hey.
No, because then I had to find another semi-host for the podcast.
Semi-host.
Okay. So
Treating us like we're
if I may,
Second
since I
classes.
know I talked about the Thanos thing, but I just thought about another really, really, really scary, spooky ghost story. If you would like me to share it with you quick.
Yeah, let's hear
Well, time up here. You still owe us a feedback on Hornets versus Wasps versus Bees.
Oh, yeah, callback.
About
Definitely
12:03 p.m. on a Thursday, this past Thursday, actually. I was going to the dump, the transfer station, right in Broad Alban. There I was, truck full of garbage and returnables and recyclables, and just, doing my thing. Probably going 60 on a back road. Wouldn't recommend it. A honeybee, skips off of my mirror on the left side of my truck, straight into my goddamn throat. I freak out because it's on my shirt, squirming, gonna sting me. I realize, I look up, I'm going 60 in the left lane with a truck coming straight for me.
So bees are
out to get me.
They heard the podcast and they want blood.
They are coming for blood. And you know what I say? Bring it. And tell your friends.
I'm putting bees on notice. Watch out, bees. I'm fucking coming for you.
Yeah.
All right. The whole podcast stands together in this. Bees, come for us.
Bring it.
Fistbound.
All right. So the spooky ghost story.
Let's hear it.
My brother-in-law told me this. It had to do with his father. And his father's a contractor. And he got I don't know, not a contract, but he was doing work for a lady who wanted a railing installed on her steps. She lived in the upstairs part of, I think, of a two-family house. Might not be, but there was like a lot of steps going down to the door. The lady said, "I want you to put a railing down so it's it's very steep, an old house." So he's like, "All right, fine." So he's working, blah blah blah, doing what he's doing, and he was on his knees doing some measurement, whatever, and he looked up and there was an old lady at the top of the stairs. And he just goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know anyone was here. I thought I was here alone. How are you doing?" And then as he looked up, he realized she didn't have legs.
Oh my God.
It was like a ghost hovering
standing up.
And it freaked him out so much he left. He went home. He came back when the owner of the house was there, and he talked to him. He said, "I saw this lady. I left. It freaked me out." And the lady goes, "Well, that's my mom. That was my mother. She died because she fell down these stairs. And that's why I want the railing put in." And he said it's weird because it looked like she was smiling. So he thinks that she was happy the railing was getting put in.
And
but
then he left.
Yeah, it just freaked him to his core. And that's just...
Thanks for putting this railing in.
Yeah, too much for me.
Yeah, I would not be able to do that.
No.
I feel like I've seen things out the corner of my eye. I'd be driving and be like, "What's that guy doing?" That's not a guy. Where the fuck did that guy go?
Or you wake up with, what's it called? Sleep paralysis?
Oh, yeah.
You wake up and it's like, "Oh my God, there's someone in my room." And then you realize, okay, I'm literally stuck. I can't move.
Yeah.
I have it all the time. And
you have it all the time?
All the time, probably twice a week. And
I've never had it,
Connor
actually.
knows when I have it because I'm my body's twitching and I'm moving. I'm trying to wake myself up because most of the time I realize that I'm in the middle of what's going on and I'm trying to wake myself up, but I can't.
Do you know why that happens to someone?
No, and I don't want to know either because it's probably freaky.
It's scientific.
Let's stop.
I could tell you.
No,
Craig, do you want to hear it?
Sure. You know what? Yeah.
So
whatever.
Your brain, when you go to sleep, it goes through 5 stages of sleep. One each is deeper than the next, and when your body is in stage, so it'll go down, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5. And then every night it flips around. That takes about an hour and a half every night. So you'll do that about 3 times a night. When your body's flipping over from stage 5 back to stage 1, stage 5 is REM sleep. Your brain wakes up, but your body is still in that stage 5, REM deep sleep. That's what causes sleep paralysis. That's why you wake up, but your body is still in the deepest sleep it could be. So that's what causes the whole feel like someone's on your chest.
Oh, yeah.
Can't breathe.
I had a weird one once. I was actually down in Pennsylvania with Craig and my dad for a hunting trip. We stopped at my sister's house to see her and my niece and my brother-in-law. And I ended up getting the flu, and Craig was taking care of me like the good boy that he is. And I fell asleep.
Yeah, and he was kind enough to give it to me.
Wow, what a hero.
I woke up in the middle of the night, well, at least I thought I did, and there was just a dragon in my sister's house ready to eat me. Freaked me out. I woke up in real life throwing up the flu the whole 9. And I was screaming, I thought I was screaming Craig because he was sleeping, on the couch 20 feet away from me. Craig. And Craig finally woke up a little bit. And I was like, just tell me the dragon won't eat me. And he was very confused and still asleep. He probably doesn't even remember. And he said,
No, I do not.
He said, "Nah, man, you're good. The dragon won't eat you." I said, "Oh, thank God." And I fell right back asleep. So, moral of the story is Craig is my savior.
I fed the dragon that night. He was hungry for a hot dog.
Yeah, nice angry dragon.
Craig is the dragon.
I am the dragon.
All right, so
Do
let's
not
switch
er-
gears a little bit. Let's play a game. We're going to go back to the say a name game from the last podcast. And
Yay!
So, for those of you that don't know, is we're going to just say something stupid or funny or true. And each of us are going to say a name of the 3 guys on the podcast that we think fits the category the most.
All right.
So I'm
to
going
recap last time, Craig was most likely to eat ass.
Yep.
I was most likely to something.
And I was most
Rob a
likely to get a
bank.
speeding
Rob a
ticket.
bank.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah, and
So-
then Pierre put me as most likely to get a DWI.
Well,
Because you drink
you're
the
the only
most.
one that's okay.
We're not debating this.
All right, Craig, you're not going to like this one, but most likely to get an STD, Craig.
Craig,
Craig,
you have to
Tim.
say a name.
she's a gypsy and she will trick you.
Craig, stop. Girlfriend
Tim.
might listen to this.
All right, so Craig thinks Tim.
All right, my turn.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, which one of us is most likely to give you the shirt off their back?
Me.
Craig's usually wearing 2 or 3, so I'm going to go Craig.
I would say Pierre.
That means a lot because I got a lot of rolls and I'm not proud of my body.
No. Also, just because his shirt would fit all of us.
Facts.
All right. All right. Mine is most likely to join a cult. I say Tim.
Tim. Tim's like, join it or start it?
Definitely me. Pierre, let's hear yours.
Most likely to become a dad first.
Tim.
Well, I was going to say me just because I'm getting married in a couple months, but yeah, let's go Tim.
I thought you guys were bringing this thing up again.
Craig, what was
No, I changed mine.
nope, you can't. No,
No,
takes
it's
It's
these
been
back.
said, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it.
Craig. Craig is the
So
most
I have a
likely.
hard confirm. Tim and Michaela are trying.
No.
hard
Soft no.
Soft. All right, what you got, Tim?
All right.
Wait, I never said anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Craig
you
needs
did.
to
I
say.
thought you
No, I
did.
didn't.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it. I'm sorry.
I just looked at Tim. Pierre.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right. So, all right. My second one. Which one of us is most likely to waste 3 wishes from a genie?
Tim.
Craig.
Tim.
What? Come
Okay,
on.
this is how it goes. I wish for more wishes. Can't do that. I wish for more genies. Well, you can't do that either. Well, I wish you were the fuck out of here then.
No, it'd be like I wish.
Tim, we're not gonna go into this.
What 3 wishes would you? I wish I was 2 inches taller.
All right. Well, mine is most likely to move to another country.
Craig.
Tim.
Pierre.
Me?
Whoa. You know,
Yeah,
Pierre
you
would be
French
the
Canadian bastard.
I hate Canada. It's America's hat, and that is it.
All right, Pierre, go ahead. Last one.
Most likely to get tricked in an internet scam.
Tim.
Craig.
Tim.
Tim.
Although it
Tim
could be
all the-
Craig, but Craig is
No, Tim. all
Craig
the
is
way.
more distracted by all the local singles in his area, so I don't know if he's gonna fall for the Nigerian prince.
I definitely wouldn't fall for the Nigerian prince.
What about
Again.
a Peruvian?
What about a Nigerian princess?
Have you been in my emails? All right.
All right.
I feel like a couple of these were geared towards certain people today.
Tim's
There
in
were
the-
certain people in mind when they were writing these. Mine was completely a bias.
So I was like, yeah, mine was completely anonymous. Most likely to be the asshole to drive an F-150. Oh yeah, Tim. That's,
My third one is which one of us is most likely to lose a toe somehow? Pierre.
Well,
Me.
I always wear steel toes.
no,
so.
it's me because my uncle fucking aims for my toes with the mower. I swear to God, he's trying to hit me. He can't
Definitely
pay me
Pierre.
if I'm
I
dead.
could see Craig losing a toe for
I always wear
something
steel
stupid.
toes.
Toe. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but
like,
I could see it being something stupid.
like
you get out of the pool and go see what my dad is doing, and
you
he
just
swings
kick
around
a
and
rock.
just drops like a metal plate, and boom, there goes Craig's big toe.
Jesus.
And then Tim has a memorable necklace,
Tim, you
Stern
left your
bone.
his third bone.
the flavor toe.
Jesus.
Just crink a little bit of that over your chicken. Mwah.
All right, mine. The last one for me is most likely to live in a treehouse for a year.
Tim.
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 I would do that now.
I know you would.
I live in a barn and it's small, and I don't think I could go any smaller. And I'm not even allowed to have anything in the barn. I had to fight for a corner, fight for a corner to put my stuff in.
Let's talk about that.
No,
What was the fight about?
everything. a stupid windmill that she wanted over the bed that if it fell, it would have literally cut my throat open.
Yeah.
Craig can back me up.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. That was a good win by you, Pierre.
It was well, you know why I won? Because I put it in a spot where she can't reach it.
Short pitch.
Jesus.
Sorry, Con.
Connor, we love you.
All right, so I think that's going to wrap it up for today's podcast. Tim, let's hear your tip.
All right. My tip from me to you, from the bottom of my heart, is don't mow your grass when it's wet. You'll have some uneven cut grass. That's not good.
Well, it gets clumpy. And then
Yeah. It's no good.
Tim, that
I mowed my grass yesterday while it was wet.
all right.
Craig, let's hear your
Rookie.
tip for today.
Here's another useful tip for me. Always cook bacon with your shirt on.
Makes you a man.
Hard pass.
Har-
My tip is if you're going to start a fight with a rooster, you better be ready to kill.
I like it. I like it.
Couple shout-outs. Quick shout-out to Joe Bagwell for all the tips in the first YouTube comment. Quick shout-out to Becca. Hi, Becca. And to Andre for all the love and support on Snapchat. Anything else, boys?
No, I think that's it. I mean, obviously, next week we're going to have Biagio Bucciferro on.
Captain America himself.
That's America's ass.
That is America's ass. We're going to talk, concussions, college football, the military. It's going to be a great episode. And Memorial weekend.
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend.
Make sure you like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all your major social media platforms. Tell your friends, tell your family, repost it, share it. If you know anyone that's big in Hollywood or anyone famous,
Yeah,
Or if you're just feeling generous, give us a sympathy.
why don't you go ahead and send it to them? If you really want, we can really, really play off Craig's terrible life. Really get that one in Hollywood.
I don't think it's that terrible.
I mean, his parents are together. They had a nice house. He grew up with a nice sister.
Yeah.
Just an awful life in his eyes.
Oh, my God. It must be fucking
What are you
terrible,
talking
dude.
about? I've never once said that.
All right. We're the three hosts from ADKVoice.
It's your boy. Sorry. No.
We're the three hosts from ADKVoice, and we'll
Don't
see you
forget,
later.
you guys.